Hello there and welcome to my beginner's guide for Apex Legends. Now this isn't just sort of help for people that are just starting the game. There will be sort of general advice for people getting into this game, and yeah, it's a very highly skilled game. There's a high skill level, and a lot of people that start playing this game give up because they think, oh, I'm never going to be as good as these guys, I'm just getting shot all the time. Take it as a learning experience. When you start playing this game, you will die a lot, but don't be disheartened. I done a video, my first win in Apex, and I look at it now and I'm like, oh my gosh, I was terrible. You know, I knew I was terrible, but yeah, I've been playing quite a lot with my mates. Most evenings playing Apex. It's the end of the season at the moment, so just taking a little break. Literally in a couple of days a new season starts. Really looking forward to that. Yeah, so that's one thing I would say. The season pass in Apex, it's definitely worth getting. If you get into the game, it gives you that incentive to keep playing, getting all the gear, and makes it just more fun to play, and just gives you little rewards for playing. So you can definitely play this without the season pass, and my mate played it for a long time without even spending a penny on the game, and that's fine. You know, the developers are quite happy as long as you're playing it and keeping the player base nice and healthy. They're not worried. Really, they're making enough money out of the whales. And if you want to know what a whale is in terms of monetization in games, yeah, they're the people that drop serious cash. And that's what these guys are after. They're making these sort of games, the fishing for whales. There is a lot of psychology behind how they do that, how they get money out of people. So just be aware of that. Don't drop too much money on this game. Please don't go mad. Yeah, it's okay to support a game if you're playing it and you're really enjoying it. And that's what I thought. I thought to myself, I've been playing this night after night with my mates, having great fun. So I bought the season pass. Well, I didn't actually buy the season pass. I bought an Apex pack for Lifeline. And you've got a nice gold angel costume. It was about £12, I think, for the pack. So basically I got the costume for basically a couple of quid, and that gave me the season pass. Now with the season pass, as long as you complete the season pass every season, and you get like 13 odd weeks to do that, then you will get enough in-game currency to get the next season pass. So you don't have to keep buying the season pass with real money every month, as long as you get that in-game currency. So yeah, it's a very cheap way to have some fantastic entertainment with your friends. Now, one thing I'd say is definitely make use of the firing range in this game. Get used to all the weapons, practice aiming, and check out all the attachments as well. That's the big thing about this game that can be a bit overwhelming for people. When you first start playing, it's not just about knowing the meta and choosing the right weapons, you know, to be competitive. You're also looking at the attachments and thinking, what attachment should I use? Now when you pick up a gun, so you've got two guns, maybe you've got, you know, a shotgun and a sniper, and you're running around. When you go to pick up an attachment, it will show you if it can be used in the weapon you currently have. When you first start, obviously you don't know what's what, but you'll gradually learn what the attachments do and what guns they're applicable to. And make call outs to your friends as well. You can ping different attachments. Then you can say, oh, who's got what? And your mate might say, oh, I've got an R99. It's like an auto rifle. Oh, you'll need light ammunition then. So you just keep an eye out for light ammunition. So you're making sure that you're not just searching and looting the different locations for yourself. You're also thinking about your mates and what they need. Now, with regard to shields are really important in this game. You definitely want to pick up a decent shield, not just a decent weapon, before you get into any scraps. Like a Mozambique and a P2020 aren't really good enough to get into a scrap. A lot of professional players don't even bother picking them up. You want to get a shield, at least a white shield, and maybe a helmet. The helmets actually reduce incoming critical damage, and the armour actually gives you more health. So if you've got a white armour, that gives you 50 points more health. The basic health bar is 100 health points, but for each segment of shield will give you 25 extra points of health. For the white shield, that's 2 segments. For the blue shield, you get 3 extra segments, another 75%, And purple and gold give you 4 segments, which is basically another 100 health points. It basically doubles your health. So it doesn't really stop you taking damage, it just gives you more health effectively. So you want to make sure that before you get into a battle, you have some armour and a decent weapon. And check your friends as well. You can see your friends' names on the left, your teammates. You can play duos or trios in this game. And if you look at their names, you can actually see when they're in combat. You can actually see a flash by their name when they're firing. And also you can see what their shield and health is at. So keep an eye on your friends. Give them a reminder, look, your shield is low or your health's low. And of course then you can actually ask them, do you need anything? Do you need a health? Do you need a shield? Make sure everyone has their full capacity sort of thing before you get into a battle. Sometimes you can't, sometimes if you're getting third-partied, you don't have a chance to actually heal up. But whenever you get the opportunity, do that. And that brings me to a big part of this game, and that is being third-partied. And what that basically means is, say you get into a fight with another group, and maybe you even win that fight, but you're left damaged, you need to heal. And before you get a chance to do that, another group, another team that have heard the gunfire, honed in on you and finish you off. So they get the easy kill. Can be very frustrating. Audio in this game is crucial. Definitely wear a pair of headphones to play this game. To be honest, that's crucial for any PvP, but even more Apex, because people move around very quickly. People are highly mobile in this game. They close the gap on you quickly. And if you haven't got those audio cues to give you the heads up that you're getting flanked, people are moving in, you're at a real disadvantage. And you'll hear professional players complaining about the audio in this game a lot. They'll say, I didn't even hear them. The audio is rubbish in this game. And that is because players rely on audio so much in this game. Like, you can tell where people are, and being mobile and moving around helps you to get a fix audibly on where people are. Another thing is height. Height in this game is key. You want to get the height advantage. Get up on a high bank. Get on the roofs of buildings. When you've got that height advantage, pay careful attention to audio. So you're listening really intently all the time. You're not just fixated on shooting the person in your sights. Right? You're always thinking about, this gunfire is going to attract attention. If we're too long static in this position, fighting, loads of other teams are going to third party us. So yeah, just be very aware of that. In fact, awareness is key in this game. If you're in the middle of the map, you don't know where people are going to come from. That's why a lot of teams will rotate around the edge of the map. There's a circle that contracts and concentrates the players into a smaller and smaller area, classic battle royale. And as that happens, more often than not, you're going to get surprised by someone. If you're in the middle of the map, you do need to keep looking around all the time. Don't just fixate on getting loot or finding enemies. Keep an eye out all the time. Keep looking. Beginner players look like bots. They just run around until they see someone and start shooting. But if you look at the professional players, they're highly mobile. They're always looking around, jumping around, sliding. They've got eyes in the back of their heads, basically. They're always expecting someone's going to attack them at any moment. So they're on a sort of a heightened state of awareness at all times. And prediction in this game is really important. You get to know the map. It is a big map. You can get to know it after playing it for long enough. And you know where the bottlenecks are. And as the zone contracts, you begin to realise where people are going to get funneled, so you can actually get yourself in a good position to catch them as they're trying to run away from the zone as it contracts. If they've got the zone behind them, it's got to keep moving. It will flush them into the open. Being in the open is a no-no in this game. If you're ever in the open, make sure you are keenly aware what's going on. You need to use cover well in this game. Team shooting is another big thing in this game. You need to stick together. I'm terrible for lagging behind, and that's why I think high mobility players work very well. In this game, you could be looting somewhere and someone could surprise you. You need support of your mates. You need to be able to swap aggro. Unless you're a really fantastic player, you're going to be dead. If a team come across you on your own, you're done. So you really want to be with your teammates. You need to stick with them for safety and support. So if you get damaged, you can drop back. They can take the aggro while you heal. But if they're not there, you can't do that. And as soon as you get damaged, the team will aggressively push you and kill you. So before you get into a fight, it's so tempting, I'm going to start shooting as a team now. Check where your mates are on the radar. You can see where they are. You can't see where the enemy is, but you can see where your mates are. Check where they are. Make sure they're in a position to support you. Make sure that they've got their health and their shields are recharged. If they're not, drop back. Now, if you just come out of a fight, don't go straight into another fight until people have healed up. So, you need a shield, you need to heal up. And then once everyone's ready, ping where the enemy are. You can actually ping where the enemy are, get the little red marker on the map. Then once you're all in position and everyone's got their full shields and full health, then push together. And you might die, but at least you'll die together. You don't want to be in a situation where someone goes down early and you're at a disadvantage because they was on their own. They didn't have the support. Because it is all about numbers in this game. And pushing together, flanking together, collapsing together as a team. And that comes with time playing together. So I often get left behind. I use Octane now quite a lot because I can close the gap. I can use the adrenaline to get back into the fight quickly. Jump pad as well to get height on people. Loba, she has a ring she can throw. Got teleports to where the ring is. Great for getting into fights and out of trouble. Anything that gives you an advantage in terms of mobility is strong in this game because it really is all about mobility. Another tip is to put your weapon away. On the PlayStation, you hold down triangle, you keep it held down, and you automatically holster your weapon, and then you can actually move faster. It's kind of counterintuitive for me to do that because I felt vulnerable. It's like, well, what if someone appears? But it's so important, as I say, to keep together. So if your teammates are running full speed with their weapons away, you must do the same. You've got to keep up. Some people hang back and snipe. That puts your team at a disadvantage. If you're sniping together, it's a ranged fight, fine. But if you're hanging back and sniping and letting teammates push in, using them as bait basically to get a snipe, chances are they're going to go down because they're going to be at a disadvantage if they're pushing just two and you're kind of hanging back, waiting for them to flush someone out so you can snipe them. So that can work as a lone sniper if you're really good, but normally when you first start the game you really want to be with your mates and playing together and pushing together. The main thing is to enjoy the game, have fun. It is a really exciting game. It's high skill level, so you can keep progressing. But as long as you're learning from your mistakes, playing on your own with randoms, if you do die, don't just quit the game. Watch what people are doing. You can learn from watching other people. You can learn so much. Also, try all the different characters. You may not be a big fan of a particular character, but play that character, play all of them, know their abilities well, so that you can counter those abilities. You know their strengths, you know their weaknesses. That will make you a better player. Top players will stay mobile. Teams, you'll see top teams, they will push together, they will stay mobile, they'll keep rotating around the map, they won't stay in the same position for too long. That way, they don't have people coming up and surprising them from behind, and it puts a lot of distance behind them. So when they do get into an engagement, they've got time to get that engagement done over as quick as possible as a team and then move on to the next people. So they limit the amount of opportunity for other people to third party them. They also tend to rotate near the edge of the map because then if you're rotating clockwise, then you don't have to worry about people flanking you, collapsing on you from the left or behind if you're moving. You're more likely to come across people, and people don't necessarily move out of the map. So you're more likely to surprise other people rather than being surprised yourself. But obviously when the map's about to contract, you then need to move in. Like before that happens, you don't want to get caught in a situation where you're running away from the wall as it's collapsing, because then people often will be waiting to get you. Now when you do go down, don't keep pinging. Like a lot of people, when they go down and they need to be recovered or they need to be respawned, they ping, 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 ping all the time. Ping, 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 ping. Like, here's the enemy. Here's a respawn beacon. Ping, 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 ping. It's annoying, firstly. And also, when you're doing that, if someone's in combat, they can't hear it. They can't hear those really crucial audio cues because you're too busy pinging and pinging and pinging. Ping to let them know where the respawn beacon is. Ping where the enemy is. Like, just don't overdo it. Also, don't ping things that your teammates don't need. Like, if you're pinging a white shield when people have already got shields, that's just annoying. Like, don't do that. Just check to see what people have got before you ping shields. As I say, ask them what they're using. Check what you're using. So you can, if someone's using a Mastiff and you see like a purple shotgun bolt, ping it, right? Because that's really going to help that guy out. The best piece of advice I can give to any new player is to be very cognizant of bullet drop and bullet travel time. When you're shooting at a moving target, don't shoot where the target is at the instant you pull the trigger, because by the time the bullet gets to them, they would have moved a bit and you will miss. So you need to actually predict where they're moving to and aim just in front of them. And once you start getting used to doing this, it will become automatic, and you'll find that you will land so many more bullets and you'll actually start to do some serious damage. So how much you must compensate for bullet drop and travel time obviously depends on how far the player is away. It seems like an obvious thing to say, but it's something that you need to be keenly aware of and tuned into with every shot you fire. The tracer bullets allow you to see the trajectory of your bullets and correct your aim, and also allow you to see where bullets are coming from and where they're going. It is quite strong as well. You can actually see the tracer really clearly, so it does help you to position players, so pay careful attention to that. When you're flying in, if you're not the leader, have a look around, see if there's any other teams landing in the same place as you, and break off before you land, so you don't end up in the same place as your teammates and compete for exactly the same loot. That does annoy people. You don't want to land too far away from your teammates, just in case there are other teams around. Also, when you're shooting someone, pay careful attention to the damage numbers, because that can actually tell you what shield someone's using. If you look at the numbers, if the numbers are white with a blue outline, then they have blue armor. If they have a red outline, then they have no armor. If they have a white outline, then they have white armor. Now, if the numbers themselves are yellow, the actual numbers, not the outline, that tells you that you are getting critical damage. And also listen out for a sound, like a cracking sound. That tells you when you've exhausted their shields. So if they've got a white shield and you do like 50 damage, that's going to crack their shield. And then you'll know that they've only got 100 health left. So it can help to sort of keep track of the numbers. But that's really for the more advanced players. There's also an Evo shield you can pick up, but that's really for the more advanced or more skilled players, because that relies on you getting damage to charge it up. So you actually get less protection with it initially, but once you get skilled and if you do lots of damage, it can actually give you more protection than the gold and purple. It can actually give you 120 points of extra health. Okay, so with regard to the helmets that I mentioned earlier, they reduce critical damage, or the bonus damage. Okay, with a white helmet, you'll get 30% damage reduction. With a blue helmet, you get 40% damage reduction, and the purple and gold helmet, you get 50% damage reduction to the crit damage, the bonus damage. Now, the bonus damage is determined by the multiplier, and that depends on the weapon. Most weapons it's like ×2 or ×1.5. Okay, so how does this work in practice? So I've gone into the firing range with a couple of my mates. This weapon has a ×2 multiplier. Friendly fire is on, so you can, as you can see, you can actually shoot your mates. It's a good way of actually practicing with all the weapons and have a bit of a laugh with your friends. Okay, so this is my mate Hate Online Names, and he's got the gold helmet on. Now, my mate Rue, he's just thrown his helmet away, so he has no helmet. Okay, stand still, Hate Online Names. Okay, so 23 to the body, 35 to the head, so you're getting that damage reduction, but without a helmet, you get the full ×2 multiplier in effect, as you can see. So having the helmet really does make a big difference. Oh, thanks guys. Thanks for that, brilliant. I think I enjoyed that a bit too much. It's basically, as you can see there, you've got the base damage, which is that first body shot, and then you get the base damage again, because it's a ×2 multiplier, but that second lot of damage, that bonus damage if you like, is reduced by the percentage. So yeah, it is important to remember that at the start of a game most people may not have a helmet, or if they do it'll probably be a white helmet, and therefore getting crit shots is really crucial at the start of the game. Later on you definitely want a purple or gold helmet, because if you haven't got one it could put you at a real disadvantage, because most good players go for headshots whenever they can. Now, in computer games, weapons tend to have something called aim assist. Literally all games have this, and it helps you land your shots. Some games call it target acquisition, some people refer to it as stickiness. It's a certain feel to a weapon when you're trying to get shots. It just helps you land your shots, and it makes it more consistent to get headshots. Some weapons you find that you just can't land a headshot for love nor money, and other weapons seem to give you them very easily. You will notice this when you're playing the game. And this is what often makes weapons meta, is when they have high aim assist. Aim assist is actually quite a big deal, especially on consoles, not so much on PC where you're using the keyboard and mouse, and that's just generally more accurate anyway. Don't worry about what the current meta weapons are initially. You can get into that later on. Just experiment with all the different weapons, figure out what weapons are the most effective at different ranges. Weapons with high damage output that fire continuously tend to be more effective at close ranges, like the L-Star for instance. Extended mags, scopes can make a big difference to how effective a weapon is at different ranges. Now, when you're at close range, you don't always have to aim down sights. A lot of weapons are quite effective firing from the hip. In fact, in most cases, if you can fire from the hip and still land your shots, it's actually better to do that because it gives you more mobility and doesn't narrow down your field of view. That's one of the things I tend to struggle with. I always tend to aim down sights, and a lot of the time you just don't need to. Find out what weapons you enjoy using. That's the main thing. I tend to be quite effective with shotguns, and I think that's because I played a lot of Destiny 2 PvP and I use shotguns quite a lot. So I'm used to pacing my shots and using cover. There is a ranked game mode where you play people of a similar ability to you. So you start off as bronze and you go silver, gold, and you go all the way through to, if you're really good, become an apex predator, like the top people in the game. But if you don't perform well in a game, you can actually lose rank points and actually rank back down again. If you play a non-ranked game, then you're just up against random people. You could be playing people of all different skills and abilities. So you could even end up playing against apex predators. Okay, so I hope this video has been helpful, and yeah, keep enjoying the game. I have a fantastic time with it. It's a brilliant game. I wish you all the best. I hope you get high damage numbers and high kills and bragging rights, and you get a few wins under your belt, and that will really get you invested in the game. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye for now.
You are the Apex Champions.
And as always, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe.